Here's a thrilling short story. The Whispering Station. It was just past midnight when Lydia stepped off the last train at Crescent Ridge Station, her heels echoing in the near-empty terminal. The place had an eerie feel, made worse by the flickering fluorescent lights and the distant hum of unseen machinery. She clutched her bag tighter, her eyes darting toward every shadow. She had come to Crescent Ridge for a job interview at a startup, drawn by the promise of an adventure. What she hadn't expected was the detour. Her train broke down 2 stops away, and the station master insisted this was the only place she could wait for the next morning's train. The bench she sat on was cold, the air filled with the faint scent of mildew. She pulled her coat tighter and checked her phone. No signal. Figures. As she shoved it back in her bag, a faint whisper reached her ears. "Lydia." Her heart jolted. She glanced around, her eyes scanning the empty platform. No one. Just a faint breeze rattling through the beams. "Lydia." This time it was louder, almost mournful. She shot to her feet, her pulse racing. "Who's there?" she called, her voice shaking. The whisper turned into a chorus, voices overlapping, weaving into a chilling harmony. She spun around, her breath coming in short gasps. That's when she saw it. A figure in the shadows at the far end of the platform. It was tall and hunched, its silhouette unnaturally bent. Its head tilted as if studying her, and Lydia froze. A faint glow emanated from its eyes, 2 pale orbs piercing the dark. She took a step back, then another, clutching her bag like a shield. Her heels scraped against the floor as the figure began to move, gliding toward her without a sound. Panicking, Lydia bolted down the platform. She didn't dare look back, her legs pumping as she ran toward the exit. But the whispers followed, growing louder, a cacophony of anguish that made her ears ring. When she reached the stairs, they felt impossibly long, the top seeming to stretch farther with every step. Her breath came in ragged gasps, the heavy air pressing against her chest. Finally, she burst into the station's main hall, where the lights were dim and the clock on the wall had stopped. She turned to see if the figure had followed, but the platform behind her was empty. Relief swept through her, but it was short-lived. The whispers were here, too, swirling around her like a vortex. The shadows seemed to shift and writhe as if alive. Then, the voice returned, low and guttural. "Run all you want. You're already here." Lydia's knees buckled as the truth dawned on her. The station wasn't a detour. It was a trap. The train had never broken down. The moment she had stepped off, she had entered a place between worlds, a nexus of the lost and forgotten. And now she was one of them. The shadows closed in, the whispers consuming her. The last thing she saw was the station clock as it ticked backward, pulling her into its endless night. What did you think? Would you like more details or a continuation?